It's October 12, 2021, Tuesday. Good day, Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. This is Janami Manayaga, and you are watching Pioneer Daily Newscast.
Headlines 2022 polls, possible contenders, alliances, and prospects of winning. According to expert, this is Lance Christian L. Sanico.
With little over 2 weeks until the filing of Certificate of Candidacy begins, some of the candidates who have been touted as the potential candidates for the 2022 elections have yet to make an official announcement.
As the COVID-19 pandemic carries on, surveys are anticipated to be much different than usual. Some partners may have altered, but some familiar names remain. Senator Bongo is running for the president. John Lloyd Obrero has the news. Obrero?
Senator Bongo has been supported by a group inside the ruling party, PDP Laban, as standard bearer. With President Rodrigo Duterte as his running partner, Bongo has declined the nomination, while Duterte has declared his candidacy for vice president. However, Duterte stated that if his daughter, Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte, versus the top post, he will give away. Duterte, according to political consultant Greg Garcia and campaign strategist Alan German, would not run in the election. Cut. John Lezabero reporting for the Pioneer Daily.
The proverbial Pinoy pastime is what else but politics. We Filipinos love to talk about it, get in heated discussions about it, we get involved, get angry. But before we get too deep into it, just remember it is 2 weeks before certificates of candidacies are filed, a veritable fiesta, politics galore, posturing galore, forma galore, candidates accompanied by family, friends, and supporters, sometimes with a marching band as if it were a meeting de avance. And all they were going to do was file this, a sheet of paper, to make it official. Now, in the next few weeks, we're going to see two things happen: alignments made and battle lines drawn. And from there, we get a pretty good idea of what the landscape is going to look like. Take note, I didn't say what it's going to be for 2022. Now, somewhere in between, expect the mudslinging, the betrayals, digging up dirt where political opponents can find them. And this is why we are here. This isn't your typical talk show. More than talking heads, we will go deep. We're going to do a tabletop exercise of sorts. For this episode, this table is going to be our 2022 battleground. Here on this table, just at my hands, are printouts of the names and faces of every possible presidential and vice presidential candidate. We'll move them around the table through 3 columns: president, vice president, and senator. Just where do they belong exactly, and where will they end up? It is politics as usual. I'm Iya Ontiveros. Now, 3 subject matter experts on packaging candidates and campaigning for them are going to be helping me to do that, because the pandemic will not allow us to have all guests in the studio. 2 of them will join via Zoom on this screen. Greg Garcia and Alan Herman joining us via Zoom, like I said, and Mr. Lito Banayo, who's here in the studio. Now, Greg and Alan and Lito will be able to see, Greg and Alan via Zoom, of course, will be able to see the tabletop at all times. The camera above the table will make sure of that. Let's start with the president himself. Rodrigo Duterte, the runaway winner in 2016, started as the dark horse that came out from nowhere. 39% of the vote, 16.6 million votes. He cannot run for re-election, but could he, should he, would he run for vice president, for VP? The PDP Laban Kusi faction all out for a Bongo Rodrigo Duterte tandem. So we're going to ask first our guests, Lito Banayo and Greg Garcia and Alan Herman, what they think of this. Should he, could he, would he run for VP? Sir Lito?
Could he run? Yes. That is not prescribed by the Constitution. Should he run?
Even if it, some people say, in the spirit of the Constitution, pwedeng hindi na lang.
Hindi. Pwede yun. But yung should, I would normally, but that is a precedent. No? That's the first time it's going to happen. No? And it's quite unusual. I think it would depend on the dynamic within the family. No? Would he run the same answer? It would depend upon he and Mayor Sara Duterte's conjoined decision, if there's going to be any.
We're going to talk about Sarah in just a while. Sir Greg, what do you think? Should he, could he, would he run for VP?
Well, let me just say that I think they are very politically savvy. Okay, so they know what's in store, what's not in store. So I don't think he will run.
Oh, you don't think he will run? Alan, Herman.
Yeah.
I'm actually in agreement with both gentlemen. The spirit of the Constitution, first of all, has to be taken into consideration, and not just the letter of its legality. If there is indeed a loophole in the Constitution that will allow him to run, the spirit does not actually permit him to run. If we're talking about the spirit of the Constitution, being that the Vice President is a heartbeat away from the presidency. And I do agree that there will be a step down later on. That is my belief, that the President will not go for it as well.
All right, well,
Vice President Leni Robredo, a member of the opposition, is one of the candidates seeking to succeed Duterte.
And it's a very difficult decision to make. Mahirap siyang desisyon, pero ako naman, while sobrang busy tayo with everyday concerns, naiintindihan ko yung agam-agam ng maraming tao, and hindi naman siguro tama na sabihin na hindi ko sineseryoso. Ang sinasabi ko lang, sineseryoso ko, and nandun tayo sa prosesong tingnan. Pinakamahalaga siguro, ano yung viability? Ano yung viability ng run? Kasi ang tingin ko kasi, napakahalaga nung 2022 elections. Na hindi naman dito nagmamatter kung ano yung gusto mo o ayaw mo eh. 'Di ba? Ang gusto ko sabihin, at gusto ko lang to i-clarify kasi marami tayong supporters na naiinip. Na kailan ka magdidesisyon. Ang gusto ko lang sabihin,
Sara Duterte says she won't run for president after her father officially accepts vice president nomination. John Kian Manto has the news.
Sara Duterte, the first daughter, is also likely presidential candidate, having topped a number of polls. The incumbent mayor of Davao City previously stated that if her father runs for national office next year, she will not run.
Hindi tatakbo si Davao City Mayor Sara Duterte sa anumang national position sa eleksyon 2022. Kasunod ito ng pagtanggap ni Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa nominasyon ng PDP Laban Kusi Faction bilang Vice Presidential Candidate at Presidential Candidate naman si Senador Bongo. Sabi ni Mayor Sara, may kasunduan sila ng kanyang ama na isa lamang ang tatakbo sa national position sa 2022.
First of all, Mayor Sara is very grateful and thankful.
Former Senator Marcos and former Defense Chief Teodoro John Lloyd Robrero has the news.
I think that will happen. Garcia also said, I see it based on the numbers and historically on the way candidates behave. I think there will be a Bongbong and Sara tandem. Despite the traumas of martial dictatorship, the Marcoses continue to hold power in politics, as demonstrated by Amy's election to the Senate and Bongbong's close second place finish in the 2016 vice presidential election against Leni Robredo. Former Defense Secretary Gilbert Gibo Teodoro went to Davao City earlier this year to meet with Sara, is another reported prospective running partner. In the 2010 presidential elections, Teodoro stood for the president after finishing fourth marathon. He went back to his private life. Banayo and Garcia believe Teodoro would be disadvantaged if he ran for a national position. After more than a decade away from the spotlight in politics, 12 years is a long time. If it's out of sight, it's out of mind, Banayo explained. And this is John Lloyd Robrero reporting for the Pioneer Daily.
Manila Mayor Isko Moreno as one of the top public bets in national surveys. John Kian Manto reporting.
Thank you, Jana.
Emerging as one of the top public bets in national surveys, the number are in favor of Manila City Mayor Francis Isko Moreno Domagoso. Moreno was named Action Democraticos Party president last month, but he appears to be weighing his choices for next year. John Kian Manto reporting. Thank you.
Other lawmakers have also indicated their intent to run the higher office. John Lloyd Rivero has the news.
Senator Manny Pacquiao, for example, is seen as a standard bearer of PDP Laban Group heads. This month, he is anticipated to make his choice. Former House Speaker Alan Peter Cayetano, another member of Congress, is pursuing the top government job. In 2016, he ran for Vice President with Duterte as his running mate in Blas. According to Garcia and Banayo, Cayetano is already performing well in the Congress in terms of numbers, and that running for higher position again would be a dangerous move. Senator Sherwin Gatchalian, who is seeking a partnership with Sara Duterte, is in the same boat. According to analysis, they feel Gatchalian should stay in the Senate for the time being. He is a show for a re-election. Meanwhile, Senator Grace Poe, who is rumored to be considering the vice presidency, would be a strong contender. According to Banayo and Garcia, that's what I am saying. And the fact that she came up with the television ads lately seems to show she's trying to test the voters whether a vice presidential run is possible or likely, Banayo added. And this is John Lloyd Rivero reporting for the Pioneer Daily.
Senator boxing champ Manny Pacquiao is running for president in 2022. The boxer turned politician announced his candidacy during his PDP Laban faction's National Assembly in Quezon City Monday. Pacquiao, who is boxing world's sole 8th division champion, has been in politics for over 10 years. He started out as the congressman of Sarangani province in 2010. Pacquiao says that his life experience and his ability to relate to the poor are among the qualities that will make him a good president.
Si Manny Pacquiao, nakasama ninyo ngayon, ay dumaan sa lahat ng klaseng sakit at sakripisyo sa buhay. Maiahon lang ang pamilya mula sa kahirapan. Panahon na upang manalo naman ang mga naaapi.
And those were the top stories for this hour.
And your voice towards truth and justice. This is Last Christian El Sanico.
This is Jeremy A. Manayaga.
This is John Kian H. Manto.
This is John Lloyd Rivero.
And this is Pioneer Daily.